Mashallah, they're saying, what God wills. Goodbye and good luck. And God knows they'll need it, the travellers and the villagers too, for these are Chad's dangerous borderlands, where the contagion that's infected Darfur has now spread. This is a living village, but they're living with fear, the dread of what most accept as inevitable now, that as Africans they'll soon be chased from their lands by their neighbours, the Arabs. 2 guides have been laid on for the human rights workers, here to document how Darfur-style ethnic cleansing has now spilled over the frontier into Chad. Not far through the bush, the first telltale signs. A market abandoned, a village whose people have fled. More villagers now on the run, to add to more than 2 million displaced next door in Darfur.
The same picture, visually it's exactly the same than the atrocities and destructions made in Darfur. It's very sad that now the war is spilling over into Chad. It's clear.
Deja vu. Once again, the scattered, looted wreckage of people's lives, people who'd fled in terror as the scorched earth horsemen passed by. Armed Arab horsemen, the African villagers say, the dread word Janjaweed on the lips of Chadian Africans now, the rapacious Sudanese government-backed militia widely alleged to be behind this, in league with their Arab kinsmen in Chad. There's no proof, just a pattern of evidence, and the certainty that, like a virus, ethnic violence is poisoning the borderlands, the 2 conflicts now inseparable.
We are in Chad, but that's the same pattern of attacks. This is an African village, and the Arab village are not touched by these attacks, but only African villages. It looks like exactly what we found in Darfur the last 2 years, and graphically it's exactly the same one more time.
Since January, at least 20,000 Chadian villagers have been chased from their homes. Some have joined the 200,000 Darfurian refugees inside Chad, but many thousands so desperate to escape that they've actually fled into Darfur itself, where this month's peace accord is yet to deliver much peace. The Human Rights Watch investigators are led out into the bush by their guides. They don't want to hang around long, as this area is still insecure, but there's something they want the outsiders to see. The cameraman who filmed this says the stench of death hung all around this place. A dead man's shadow in the blood-drenched straw and dried mud, his hat where he fell, the body moved and hurriedly buried by survivors who dared to return. The investigation into what happened 2 hours east of Goshbeda still isn't over. No firm conclusions about perpetrators yet. But from the outset, one thing was obvious. This is a killing field.
And you have like shoes and another hat here.
Whoever was responsible, something terrible clearly happened. People here died violent deaths.
He climbed into the tree and he was shot dead by Kalashnikov round. And the body was left in the tree for a few weeks, and the people could not reach the body, so they buried those who have been killed in this massacre place, and then they left the body. And I think after a few days or weeks, the body fell down, it's decomposing, and that's a horrible picture of these crimes against humanity.
The human rights researchers noted their grim evidence and left, urged on by their anxious guides. The United Nations Secretary-General recently called Darfur an inexcusable tragedy. But as the UN continues to dither on Darfur, another front's now opening up in Chad, deepening the crisis. The governments of Chad and Sudan and their bloodthirsty proxy militias drifting towards regional war.